Morning. I was just reading an article in the Spectator magazine in the UK. Let me read you a part, see what you think. One Nation is a reform-like party of grievance. Just explaining the rise of One Nation at the moment, especially on mass immigration and its dilution of Australia's long-time Anglo-European social fabric. Its personality cult leader, former fish and chip shop owner Pauline Hanson, intellectually is a third-rate imitation of Nigel Farage. Currently, however, Hanson rides a wave of popular support after Bondi, as disaffected and angry Liberal and Nationals voters are attracted by her simplistic siren song. Her simple message, that's why people are attracted to her. I don't think so. I think the major reason is that people are totally over the major parties, the coalition imploding, caring more about themselves and their internal problems than the country at large. The Labor Party, one of our worst in history probably, but remains politically dominant. And I think voters at large are over all of them. And Pauline Hanson and One Nation are the beneficiaries of that at the moment. Obviously, some people like their policies as well. As in a democracy is their right. But when the writer makes the point about the fish and chip shop, really, that's 3 decades ago, and it was a very nice fish and chip shop. But then says she's intellectually a third-rate imitation of Nigel Farage. Well, I think one of Pauline's enduring qualities that people like is that she's an imitator of no one. And I think I have the timeline right that Pauline entered Parliament in 1996 and Nigel Farage entered the European Parliament in 1999. So Pauline was around before Nigel Farage in a major way. But this idea that she's a third-rate intellectual, I think does a couple of things. One, it's incredibly patronising and arrogant, and again sneering at Pauline Hanson, suggesting she's stupid, and that Nigel Farage is somehow a genius. But it also overestimates what being an intellectual is worth in politics and underestimates the qualities that people like Pauline Hanson have brought to it. Because intellectuals have caused a great deal of trouble in politics worldwide for a long time. This idea that they can reorder society, that they know best. That creates problems. But on the other hand, there have been politicians in Australia like Ben Chifley, steam train driver, who brought the right qualities, the right stuff to leadership and remains an endearing figure. Paul Keating didn't go to university, he got by just fine. In the United States, one of their great presidents was Harry Truman, took over from Franklin Roosevelt upon his death in 1945, had to make some tough calls, including the dropping of the atom bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. He was a fine president, Harry Truman. His memoirs are worth reading, terrific. He knew what he stood for, and he had the courage to stand up for those beliefs. He was no great intellectual, neither was Ronald Reagan. Whatever an intellectual is, I mean, the intellectuals just think about stuff and come up with conclusions. I mean, Ronald Reagan didn't do much. He just tore apart the Soviet Union and got Mr. Gorbachev to knock down that wall. Mr. Reagan said it wasn't complex. We win, they lose. And they said he was a simple man. I think sometimes there's value in simplicity. I think there's also value sometimes in just being in the arena. That great piece that another fine American president wrote, Theodore Roosevelt. I'll put the link below. This is just a couple of lines from it. It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who was actually in the arena. And in this case, the woman as well. Take care. Have a good day.